Hi everyone, welcome back to the virtual training plan videos. In this video, I'm going to be talking about setting a running schedule and a regular running schedule. So this video goes hand in hand with one I did previously about picking a fall goal race. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I would suggest watching that one first and then coming back to this one. So if you are choosing to race this season, I hope that you've chosen a goal race by now. But if you are choosing not to race this season for whatever reason, that's perfectly okay. That's fine. Sometimes a training plan is all we need for some accountability and a sense of community. So during these uncertain times, just remember, guys, to be gentle on yourself, your motivations, and your goals. So yeah, if you don't have a goal race in mind and you're just training to train, that's awesome too. So at this point, regardless if we've chosen a race or not, we are quite a few weeks into our training program. So we are in the build-up phase to our goal race in some capacity. So depending on when your race is and what your race is, your build-up, it could look completely different from someone else. So for that reason, this video is going to be a little generic. So if you have any specific questions after you watch this, be sure to reach out to me and I can help you as much as I can. So once you have picked your goal race, you're going to want to determine a good running schedule for you and what's right for you. And by that, I mean, the appropriate amount of days to take off, if you should be focusing on long runs, if you should be focusing on Tuesday track. So for example, if you choose to run the Missoula Mile and that's your goal race, a Tuesday track workouts are going to want to be a great focus for you. But let's say you're choosing to do the virtual Sentinel Hill climb. Hill workouts and trail runs are going to be really essential to your training. So once we have that goal race determined, it will be a lot easier to determine what is right for us and what will help us reach our goals and reach that finish line. So when determining your schedule, sometimes it's easier to work backwards. So that essentially means putting your race day on the calendar and looking back step by step, looking at everything you need to do to reach that finish line successfully. So if you're running a virtual race, the first step is to pick what day you're racing. That is a great luxury of virtual runs. It's a huge benefit to be able to pick where and when we're racing. So if you are doing a virtual race, I would either suggest doing your virtual race on your weekend so you have a lot of time and you can create a low stress environment, or doing it on a day our body's used to working hard on. So essentially a workout day. It's amazing how accustomed our body can get used to working hard on certain days. So once we do have that race day determined, the few days, so 3 to 4 days before your race, are going to want to be off days, easy days, and maybe even cross-training days. You pretty much don't want to do anything strenuous that will lead to any sort of injury, soreness, or burnout. And then 2 to 3 weeks before your chosen race is what we call the taper. And the reason for the 2 to 3 week period is really dependent on your health, your fitness and ability levels, and even your goal race and what it is and how far it is. So during your taper, you're going to want to take it easy. The main goal of a taper is to rest and recover from all of the hard work we had put in for the weeks prior. So again, you're going to want to do nothing strenuous at this time. Those 2 to 3 weeks before your goal race, you're still going to want to do some workouts and get some long runs in, but you're just going to want to generally reduce, maybe the time on your feet and the intensity of those runs. So essentially, we're just taking a step or two back. So if you want to learn more about the taper and the specifics of that, I suggest that you watch the taper video from the Missoula Marathon and Half Marathon training class. That video is found on the Missoula Marathon YouTube channel, but I can link it in the comments of this video, so it's easy for you to access. So once you have your goal race determined and therefore your goal distance, you'll be able to choose what what workouts work best for you and what type of schedule works best for you. So this is what I was saying a little bit earlier. Like, for instance, if you're going to race the Missoula Mile, Tuesday track is going to be your bread and butter. Or maybe if you're running a half marathon, long runs are going to be your bread and butter. But additionally, it will also help you determine the paces that you need to be running at and training at. So for that, I suggest that you look at the back of the training guidebook and glance at the pace charts to see what your appropriate paces are for your fitness level and your determined goal race distance. So if you guys have any questions, I know this was a broad video about your own training schedule and what you should focus on based on your own goals and motivations, please just send me an email and I'd be more than happy to help you.